Joseph Shaw. I started my PhD here at Bristol University with the Porphyry Copper Deposit Research Group in September 2017. I have funding for 3.5 years and I'm hoping to finish by March 2021. My PhD is about supergene enrichment of porphyry copper deposits in Chile, and I'm aiming to use a novel dating technique, which is uranium, thorium, helium geochronology of hematite, to try and track water table movement in different porphyry copper deposits where enrichment has occurred. Since starting my PhD, I organised the first field trip to Chile within a couple of months of starting the project, and then myself and Leah Ituarte, who used to work at Spence Mine, went to Chile in November and December 2017 for about 1 month. And we firstly visited the Santiago office of BHP to speak to some of the geologists there, and then we travelled to Spence Mine and spent a full week in the mine speaking to the geologists there and collecting core samples. In Spence Mine we looked at drill core from 10 separate holes that had been laid out for us in the core shed by members of staff at Spence. I collected samples from the base of the gravels all the way downwards through the leached cap and into the zone of supergene enrichment, and I was aiming for samples containing hematite, which is an iron oxide mineral formed through oxidative weathering, and also alunite, which is a potassium aluminium sulfate also formed through weathering. Okay. Now that I have the samples back at Bristol University, I've selected the most interesting samples based on the texture, where you have hematite and alunite coexisting, and had some thin sections made. And so far I've been looking at the thin sections using optical microscope and the scanning electron microscope, the SEM, to look at the textures in more detail. We're going to choose the best examples of hematite and alunite to date, and to do that we're going to use uranium, thorium, helium geochronology of hematite and argon-argon dating of coexisting alunite. The case partnership between my NERC funded project and BHP has been incredibly useful so far. I've had access to Spence Mine, which wouldn't have been possible without BHP's cooperation, and access to lots of information regarding the deposits and other deposits that BHP own. When we visited the Santiago office of BHP in November, it was really useful to be able to speak to some of the geologists and hydrogeologists there about Spence before going to the mine. And then once we were in the mine, we were really lucky to have the full cooperation of mine geologists while we were there to transport us between different areas of the mine, to give us a tour of the mine, and to help us with sample interpretation, sample collection, and various logistical things like this. Other things that have been beneficial have been the kind of communication and meetings between members of staff of BHP and the group here at Bristol. So for example, we recently had the annual BHP meeting where several people who are very involved in exploration for copper for BHP in Chile came to the university, and we all did some talks about our research, and it was really useful to hear the kind of professional take on how the research done at Bristol is incorporated into copper exploration in Chile. And it was just really enjoyable to get to meet people who have had a career in mining and to just learn some useful bits of advice from them. Overall, from my experience so far, which is under 1 year, PhD life at Bristol is really, really great. There's an incredible range of expertise in the university, and everybody I've spoken to is happy to help with all different aspects of my project. So you have a supervisory team, but you can ask anybody else you might need specialist knowledge on for help, and they're more than willing to do that. It's really nice to share an office with a small group of other PhD students in the same year, so everybody's in the same boat, just starting out, and the university building is really beautiful. It's really great to work on a PhD project supported by NERC, who are the Natural Environment Research Council, because there's a lot of training opportunities provided by them that I wouldn't otherwise have access to, and many of these opportunities are fully funded if you submit a successful application. And even within 1 year of starting this project, I've managed to go on a field trip to the Greek island of Milos to look at various styles of mineralisation there. And I've also had training on various pieces of various scientific instruments here at the university, such as the SEM and the microprobe. Yeah, so since starting my PhD, I've gained lots of skills which I think will be very valuable moving forward after finishing this project. Both academic skills in terms of research, communication with supervisors and things like this, but also kind of field-based skills by spending time at Spence Mine, collecting samples and speaking to the geologists there. What I'm really excited about is that with BHP as a case partner on the project, I might be able to go and spend some time working on a project related to supergene enrichments at one of the BHP mines in the next couple of years.